You guys can ask away so I can get out of here.
When a team wins a championship that you've obviously had a few times, how much more confident do they get the following year? Does that carry over?
Oh, no question. Definitely carries over.
In what way?
Just confidence and team chemistry is definitely enhanced, and just trust in one another. When you can trust your teammates in the highest of pressurized situations, it just brings you to another level as a whole.
Did the Nuggets run last year in the playoffs surprise you? I mean, they were 16. They're pretty dominant.
That was pretty dominant. I mean, yeah, I was surprising the way they swept the Lakers, but I mean, give them credit. They have a great team. Nikola is a great player, one of the greats. Jamal had an incredible run in the playoffs. Their whole team did, really. They all knew their roles and they perfected them. So it's exciting to have the opportunity to play them this early in the season. And a team we'll potentially see down the line. So it's a fun matchup ahead.
You see anything in this Nuggets team that reminds you of yourself?
Oh my God, I hate that question.
Come on!
Oh.
But after your first championship, are there any similarities? Or are they very different than how it felt?
I don't know. It's like 8 years ago, 9 years ago. I mean, I don't. Sure, they have a multiple MVP, and yeah, the similarities are. Actually, I don't see very many. I mean, their best player is a big man. Ours was a point guard. They spread the floor maybe the same as we do with all the shooting they have.
All right, I'll give you a more specific, relevant to now question. You're shooting really well for twos. Is there any specific work you did, drill work, that you did to really get better at that?
No, just the same things I've always been doing. That's just getting a bunch of shots up and trying to be in great shape and just being confident and letting it fly. I mean, the season's long, you're going to have lulls, you're going to have highs. It's just about being consistent with your work.
Obviously, Jamal's a key player for them. He's not playing. What can you learn from the one game the Nuggets played without him?
They're still a great team. I mean, Jamal's one of the better guards in the league. Obviously, you're going to miss him, but you can't take them lightly. They still have champions, and they still know how to play off one another, and they've won without him before. So we know he's a huge part of their team, but we can't relax because he's out. That's the worst thing we could do.
Now, I know, like, as I get older, my body's definitely not the same. So as you guys get older with this elevation and stuff, like, does it get tougher as time goes along, or like, how do you guys make that adjustment?
Just you don't really think about it. You just stay prepared and do all the little things to be your best self. But no, I feel great. We all feel great, and we've had a great start to the season. This is another opportunity to improve that start. So we're going to see them make the most of it.
Your shot attempts are down like per game. So is that a concerted effort? Is that just how this team's built, a little bit more spread out?
I didn't even know that, but I mean, we're winning. I'm not concerned with how many shots I take. I'm more concerned with being efficient with those shots, and you know, as long as I shoot efficiently, I don't care if I average 10 points or 30. The goal is to help the team win and be the best team we can be. It doesn't matter what the individual stats mean. The only stat that matters is the wins and losses column.
How are you feeling overall? Just about. I mean, you are 6-2.
Yeah. Oh, I feel great. I mean, it's a great start. One loss at home, one loss on the road. Have an opportunity to go 7-2 tonight. So this is a great start to the year, but we're not satisfied.
How difficult is it dealing with Joker without Draymond in the lineup?
Yeah, well, it's much harder. Draymond is an incredible defender. With Jokic, it will take a team effort, obviously, but he's going to get his. It's about limiting what everyone else does.
What do you thought of Trayce? I mean, I'm only asking because it's possible maybe he gets some time tonight. But, you know, in his cameos, what do you thought?
I love Trayce's game. I think he's going to be in the NBA for a long, long time. He's ready. He's able right now. Came in as a rookie, making an impact. And what a steal we got as a late-round pick in the second. So he's going to be a huge help for us this whole year.
Does it feel like he provides kind of a value you guys don't have necessarily, like, you know, lob threats, rim protection, that type of thing?
Yeah, you could say that.
Dre and Gary are back at practice today. Are both of them on track?
Yep, both are good.
It's a weird homestand, right? Like it's 6 games, but then you have a back-to-back, both early tips, and then 4 of the games are against 2 of the same teams. Is that weird, or like what does that kind of homestand do?
It's a little weird, especially having two game sets, against those 2 teams. We haven't had much of that in the last couple of years. I don't think we've had it on the road at all the last couple of years, which is probably too bad because that's where it saves a little travel. But it means no shootarounds. The 5:30 starts, no shootarounds. But it is what it is. So the main thing is we're home. We're going to get a little more rest, less travel, a little more practice time. So we should sharpen up.
Are there certain goals that you have to improve on or just advance during the next week and a half?
Yeah, we I think we've had one real practice the last 10 days, something like that. So we're seeing all kinds of stuff on tape that we've got to improve at both ends, execution, just details in some of the stuff we run offensively, details within the schemes defensively. So it's just like everything else. You need practice time to sharpen up, and that's the plan.
Last one for me. What do you need to see more of from Andrew?
I'm seeing Andrew look much better physically the last couple of games. His on-ball defense has been great, so he's coming. I'm not worried about him at all. Like I said, he's got this long track record. I don't know, is this his 9th year in the league, I think, or 8th, 9th? So we know what Wiggs can do, and the fact that he's looking really good defensively on ball means his conditioning is there. I think the rhythm will follow.
Hey, Steve. Both the numbers and the eye tests kind of suggest that Moses Moody's in the midst of a leap defensively, especially as a help defender. Just wondering, what are you guys seeing from him on that side of the ball? Yeah, Moses has been great. Every time I put him on the floor, I feel his presence, his defensive energy. He's really playing hard. He's crashing the glass, creating extra possessions. Moses is just, very coachable and responsive to the things we ask him to do. And, year 3, so this makes sense, So he'd be a senior in college right now if if this were the old days. So, the improvement isn't something that happens overnight as much as everybody wants it to. The foundation for the game takes years and years. The footwork, the anticipation, and then you throw in all the idiosyncrasies of the NBA, the patterns, the movement that you have to see over and over again. So it makes sense, year 3 for a young guy, there should be a leap, and Moses is making that.
Hey, Steve, what have you thought of Trayce and Brandin, their contributions so far?
They've been great. Both guys are really well developed already. Trayce, I say it all the time, 125 college games. So that foundation that I was just talking about that every player needs, he's got. And so when you ask him to do something, he already has the skills and the fundamentals to execute whatever it is we're trying to ask of him. So he gives us a little something different from other bigs in terms of being a lob threat. The verticality at the rim is, he's up there. Loon and Draymond are great rim protectors, but it's different. It's more positioning and strength. And with Trayce, it's more the elevation to go with that verticality. Makes a difference. It gives us a different look. So we're enjoying playing Trayce quite a bit. And then Brandin has a knack. He doesn't have as much experience, but he just has a knack and a feel for the game that's very unique among young players. So every time we throw him out there, he makes good decisions, good plays. He's going to be a good player.
And is there anything specific you want them to work on while they're in Santa Cruz?
It's mostly just reps, but I think it's a good change of pace for them to go from, with us, maybe a 10 or 12-minute stint to, hey, here's 30, 35 minutes. It's good for their conditioning, good for their rhythm, good for their skill set. I think one of the things Brandin found in summer league was the game was moving, pretty fast compared to college. So the same thing's going to be true. He's already made that adjustment to the NBA level, but now he gets 30-plus minutes of that in the G League of facing that kind of speed. And so he gets to work on his skill. And also we want to win, especially now that my son's the coach. We really got to win.
Tonight's a big night. Wonder if they'll play those guys. Maybe.
If not, I'm going to rip him. It's always the coach's fault. Okay.
I actually got one more for you, if you don't mind. So you guys are, I think it's 29th in transition frequency, 29th in time to shoot after defensive rebounds and turnovers. Is that just a reflection of your personnel? Obviously, CP is a really deliberate player. His turnovers are extremely low, assists extremely high. Or are you guys going to want to run more as you have in the past as the season progresses?
Yes to both. But I do think it's interesting. I mean, we were number one in pace last year and number one in turnovers. And we didn't like that combination. We wanted to be more middle of the pack in both. And I think getting Chris aboard is helping us cut our turnovers back, obviously. I don't know where we are now, turnovers per game, but it's probably, between 10 and 15th in the league. Yeah. So that's great. We want that. But that also means we've got to be more purposeful in our execution. And that's where we really need to improve here these next couple of weeks, offensive execution in the half court. At the same time, we should get easy buckets off stops. Our first group has been one of the best five-man units, if not the best, over the last 2 years, and with a great defensive rating. And then that group has frequently played off of stops. Draymond pushing the ball, Wiggs getting out in transition. One of the reasons our pace is lower than we'd want it right now, and our transition efficiency is because we're not getting stops, so we're taking the ball out of the net. So it's all tied together. Thanks.
How you doing, Moses?
Good.
I asked Steve Kerr about this earlier. It seems like the game is really slowing down for you in general, but especially defensively, especially as a help defender on the back line and pick and roll, especially really getting your hands on the ball. The numbers reflect that in terms of deflection, steal percentage. Just how comfortable are you out there defensively this season as compared to your first 2 years in the league?
Yeah, that comfort just comes with knowing where you're supposed to be. Same with steals. I was talking to Kenny about it today. He was saying, you get steals when you're in the right spot, and that's kind of what's been happening. So just paying attention to the game plan, knowing where to be, and comfort comes with that.
I've seen a couple times during games, Chris will kind of huddle the second unit up, or whoever he's out there, out on the court with, just to kind of get everyone on the same page. I don't know, I just don't see that a lot in the NBA, maybe in college, but in those huddles, in those moments, what kind of thing is he telling you? When do you see him do that? Is it when you guys are maybe just a little discombobulated just to re-center the group? Or what are those huddles like?
Yeah, I was going to say it does remind me of college a lot. But if you think about it, out there on that NBA floor, running up and down, you're away from your teammates and not in close proximity for a long time, so you're not even necessarily as a unit. So it's something about it, when you get together like that, almost like in volleyball, just that feeling of, all right, it's us versus them, and he says things in the moments and different things at different times, but just the basis behind it is cool too.
How helpful is that?
Yeah, it brings us together. We can get disconnected out there, rather if it's somebody took a shot and they should have passed it to me, or I'm feeling a way about it. Well, now they run up and down the court, and I don't even see them. We out here together, but it's spaced out. You're doing different stuff, but then that's the opportunity to even say something about it if you want to, or just get together and look each other in the eyes and just get together. So that's cool. That's just what I feel from it. I'm not even the one that initiates it, but that's what I can feel.
What coming off of that road trip, and now you guys have a week and a half at home, kind of a weird homestand, just the way it's organized, but what are like the priorities and goals that you guys are focusing on these 2 weeks, we'll call it?
Just clean up, what we've been working on, our margins, trying to get our margins and get back to practicing. We'll be home for a while, so we get the ability to practice and get over and, hit on the things that we need to clean up. So just be home for that long is helpful for us. We can get in the gym, work on what we need to.
What have you noticed about your guys' bench unit, the second unit that you're a part of, and just the way you guys have been able to play really strong, build on leads, maintain leads, whatever it may be?
Just come out there with energy and force, cause havoc. I'm pretty sure we're pretty our IQ in that second unit is pretty tough, around the other second units around the league. So just trying to outsmart the second units and build on whatever the first unit, leaves us or whatever we got to do to get back to even or whatnot. But just keep the ball moving and, have space and connectivity in that unit. And I think that's probably the biggest thing is just our connective unit that we have in that second unit. We just all don't care and, we want to get stops and run out and get easy buckets.
Sorry, Gary, I got one for you too. You're obviously a huge X factor during the title run. You came back last season after the trade deadline. Was never quite healthy from your whole midsection issue. Seems like you're back to your old self now. How are you feeling just in general? Are you feeling you're kind of reaching that peak that you reached in the 2022 season in terms of just wreaking havoc defensively, like you mentioned, getting out in transition, catching on a short roll, making plays, dunking from the dunker spot? Just how are you feeling in general about your performance so far?
Good. Body's feel good. Maintaining, holding, no setbacks as of right now. So just continue to take care of my body, keep it where it needs to be, and, just continue to help this second unit and do what I can, down the stretch of the games to, try to close them. You guys are b-e-a-u-tiful.
Thanks,